Today we're going to be talking about lesson 13.1 on circles and circumference. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to talk about what parts of a circle we're going to need to know. So if we have a circle, we have the center point in the middle. From that center point to any one point on the outside is the radius. From any point on the outside through that center point and all the way across is the diameter. Now, I always try to remember this using the fact that the word radius is shorter than the word diameter. Now, we can use the formula or the rule that says diameter is equal to 2r to help us solve diameter and radius problems. So here on number 1, it says the diameter of a circle is 16 centimeters. Find the radius. So we're going to start by rewriting our formula or our rule and plug in what we know. Here we know the diameter, so we're going to put 16 in for the diameter. And then you're simply going to solve for that missing variable. So you would divide by 2 on both sides. We're going to find out that the radius is 8 centimeters. Now the same thing in regards to number 2. The radius of a circle is 9 yards. Find the diameter. So go ahead and start with your formula and go ahead and try and plug this in to solve. You should have started by plugging in 9 for the radius or r. 2 times 9 is 18, so the diameter for number 2 is 18 yards. Now let's go ahead and look at the next set. So the next set is talking about circumference. So circumference is kind of like the perimeter of a circle. It just has a special name. So to find the circumference, we use the formula C, or circumference, equals pi times diameter. So here, let's look at number 3. Number 3, we have halfway to the across or to the center point is labeled with 2 centimeters. That is the radius. So we need the diameter. So if we go all the way across, that diameter is 4. So circumference equals pi times diameter. And you're going to plug in what you know. 3.14 for pi and 4 times the diameter. Go ahead and multiply these. When you multiply, your answer should be 12.56 centimeters. Perimeter, just like circumference, has just plain single units. So 12.6 centimeters is our final answer. Now, looking at number 4, again, circumference equals pi times diameter, and diameter all the way across the swimming pool is 14. Since we know that 14 is a multiple of 7, we're going to use the fraction estimate for pi, 22/7. Remember that whole numbers always go over a 1. Here we can cross cancel. 7 divided by 7 is 1, and 14 divided by 7 is 2. Multiply straight across the top and the bottom. 22 times 2 is 44. 1 times 1 is 1, and 44 over 1 is 44. So here, the circumference of the swimming pool would be 44 feet. Now, with number 5, again, we know the diameter already. So the circumference is equal to pi times the diameter. So go ahead and multiply 3.14 by 9. When you do this, you should end up with the circumference equals 28.26 inches. Now let's take a look at the next one, number 6. Number 6 uses some information from an example from the textbook. It says the circumference of the roll of tape decreases 5.25 inches. Estimate the diameter of the roll after the decrease. So the original circumference in the problem was 31.4. It's going to decrease by 5.25. So decrease means we're going to subtract. When we subtract these, we end up with 26.15. Now, the key word here is it says to estimate. So circumference equals pi times diameter. We know that. We know that that is the rule or the formula. We know that right here that our circumference is 26.15 inches. We also know that pi is approximately 3.14. So if we're going to estimate, we might look at our numbers and think, well, 3.14 is close to 3, and 26 is close to 27, and we know that 27 divides by 3 nicely to get 9. So our diameter is going to be approximately 9 inches. And when we're estimating or using the word approximately, we're going to use this sign. Just shows that it's close to, or it's an estimate, but it's not exactly equal to. Now, when we look at numbers 7 through 9, we're finding the perimeter of the semicircular region. So we are going all the way around this semicircle. So we need to think that this outside piece is like half of the circumference because it goes halfway around the circle. So remember that circumference is pi times diameter, but we're now cutting that in half because we're only going halfway. But then we also need to account for this piece, which is the diameter. So to find the perimeter of a semicircle, we're going to use this formula, pi times diameter divided by 2 plus the diameter. So let's go ahead and take a look at number 7. So with number 7, we have pi times the diameter, which is 2, divided by 2 plus the diameter of 2. Well, we know that 2 divided by 2 cancels. So we have 3.14 plus 2. Remember to keep your decimal points lined up when you add. 3.14 plus 2 is 5.14 feet. Now go ahead and try number 8 on your own. Now remember, we're going to use this pi times diameter divided by 2 plus the diameter rule. Come back when you're ready to see that worked out. Now again, we're going to plug in the diameter of 7 here. Now, we can't easily divide 7 by 2, so here I would recommend multiplying 3.14 times 7 to start. So when you do that, you are going to end up with 21.98. So 21.98 divided by 2 plus 7. So when we divide 21.98 by 2, we get 10.99. And 10.99 plus 7 would give us 17.99 centimeters. Now, for the last one, number 9, again, we're going to use that same formula, pi times diameter divided by 2 plus the diameter. Here you see that they've only given us the radius of 15. Well, if halfway across this way is 15, then halfway across this way is 15. So our diameter would be 30. So we're going to plug in our information. Now, we can easily divide 30 by 2 to get 15. 3.14 times 15 is 47.1. And 47.1 plus 30 will give us a perimeter of 77.1 inches.